Hello, this is Wojciech Pietrzak, my last Champions League game. Apparently, after the blunderful game against Makis Bacevanis, I have no chance to advance further, so I'm gonna experiment in this one. And my experiment is about setting up my recording software for better quality. And let's see what it looks like. So I have no mathematical chance to advance, so this game is as important as a friendly one for me, not for my opponent, of course. So, as USA, I have 25 points on my starting hand. Of course, this is not the absolutely best hand ever, because I have both D cards. One of them has to be spaced, one of them has to be held. Containment would be wasteful with 3-4 cards. I don't really need to defect whatever he has, so I have to hold distal, and red scar purge it is. And I should probably push very aggressively with all these cards I have. So the goal very soon, then take France, then take care of Deco and some other stuff. But first, let's look for what my opponent has. The first important moment. I could regrab domination with Lebanon and Egypt, but Lebanon is a good coup target, especially when you're perched. I could use Egypt and Jordan instead, but that looks somewhat wasteful. I may ignore the dominating aspect and just take Egypt. I think I'm gonna play long term, which means triggering the goal and putting 2 into France, actually, and 1 in Afghanistan. I don't need to put 3 because he doesn't have a 4 under purge. Actually, I could probably put only 1 here, because even if he has a 4, DEFCON is at 5. And I have great realignment options against France. However, that's not the kind of downside risk I'd like to take, because if I fail one series of realignments, I won't get another chance. Plus, if I succeed too much, I don't have good follow-up, and I have to use high-up card. Yeah, Middle East scoring, that was quite predictable, but now I can concentrate on some other stuff. I think it's worth taking France now. Just in case he has Europe scoring, although I expect that he would rather score in different order. And then space and spread. I wonder what should I do with this high DEFCON actually. It's not the best idea to keep it high so long, because he may coup Italy on his AR6, and then I face dilemma whether to repair Italy or take care of my Milops. But in order to make it working, I should provoke him to create some coup target for me. He could first. And it was an annoying result. I'd rather see him having something here. On the other hand, I don't really need Afghanistan control. I didn't want to go to Angola, because if he has duck and cover, it would be great coup target for this. Algeria is not a great coup target and probably gives me some counter options. This is the moment when I coup. And North Korea actually, he already has access here, and he has always access through. Yeah, let's go Iraq. Okay, was more than decent. Hmm. I see what you did there, sir. Thailand? Yeah, I don't have enough to take both Pakistan and India. He's cooing, which is good. So, 1, 2, that's enough against Suez. And this should be taken in case of Vietnam revolts, followed by duck and cover. Okay, I have Vietnam revolts and Suez crisis. So the worst card he could have against me is socialist governments. I'm not really happy with the ops in my hand. On the other hand, his ops shouldn't be too good as well. So maybe socialist governments followed by something. Cambridge 5. I'm not really happy about it, but it should be playable. On the other hand, he couldn't count on anything other than Europe in my hand. So now he may push very strongly against Europe. But DEFCON is at 3, and he, as USSR, should be the one who does something about it. Now, as of my hand, Distal is obviously candidate for holding. So I guess I'm playing all the other cards except one, which is Spaced. No Nasser. Probably no Arab-Israeli war. No need to do it. So I have to score Europe when it's doable, take Egypt and Libya, bite the bullet with Nasser, and probably space Vietnam revolts, or just save it for the last play. When I'm able to boost Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand. Well, actually, I'm able to space 2 cards after captured Nazi scientist. Kind of funny. Yeah, let's go and spread. I'm running out of playable cards, regretfully. So I'm probably giving up Europe if I'm unable to score domination now. Or I could take risk with Arab-Israeli war. That if I lose it, I'm losing access to Egypt entirely. Should I or should I not? If I take Greece now, he's gonna waste the Marshall Plan. So I'm gonna play it and just get a little freer in my remaining play. It would be nice to place US before Arab-Israeli war. On the other hand, it would be nice to be able to go to Egypt, but to trigger Suez first, and the combination of this all is undoable. But Greece looks really a waste. Okay, I now am going to have tough times dominating Europe. But I should never ever have problem. On the other hand, his socialist governments can now turn Europe into his domination. Okay, resolve event first, hoping that 1 point is enough to repair the most important damage, so that I can just take Libya and be ready to play Nasser, whatever damage he's going to make. For example, here, just to block Pakistan. Okay, in the Pakistani war, of course. But it's only 1/3 chance. Marshall? Norad. Yeah, okay. All right. Now, what should I do with Vietnam revolts? I don't want it to come back later. Okay, then. I got socialist, Marshall. I got Indo-Paki. This is good. I got defectors, and he shouldn't know about it. I think I'm gonna play defectors, because what else? Special relationship is empty. Indo-Pakistani war should be a threat, at least until I secure Pakistan. Marshall Plan is a 4-up card because it doesn't really make sense as an event now. Socialists are probably discarded to blockade. Although, okay. That was funny. On the other hand, he must have expected my defectors, otherwise it would be just a free distal discard. Warsaw Pact before Comic-Con. He is unfortunate about the coups, and it's honest that I admit it. The honesty requires me to admit it. Now, fighting for Middle East domination is tempting. Normally, the best chance for USA is in Europe. But now I can take Middle East domination with 1-3 ops, then use another 2 to regrab it, and he needs to invest more to keep it. Pakistan and India with Marshall Plan. Yeah, well, let's trigger this Warsaw Pact formed, because it must be triggered anyway. So, okay, goodbye European domination. I'm glad that Europe is quite safe against Soviet domination now, unless, of course, brush war hits Italy with success. But I'm gonna take a closer look in the Middle East. India and Pakistan, taken together, should secure Asia. If he invests a 4 in Israel, I think I'll give up, because I don't feel these 2 victory points from Middle East domination plus 1 from a battleground are worth investing another 3, taking into account that he doesn't have to have Middle East scoring, and that it's vulnerable to Muslim revolution. Asia offers much better odds, and Africa needs a little care. So, UN intervention again. It looks like he has the scoring. Okay, he's investing heavily here. So let me go somewhere else. I could go to Pakistan with Marshall Plan, but I needed 2 steps to take Angola and Zaire, which I would like to do. I probably have 1 space race to make, and I want to be in India. So he equalized Middle East. Let's regrab this one. Okay, let's space this one. Should have spaced distal actually. But distal is not the worst hold card if he discarded blockade, because it's ungrabbable with salt. Okay, now Indo-Pakistani war. I don't actually need these victory points that much. I think it's much more important to be able to take India and Indonesia and Cameroon and Saharan states in a single move. I finally have good luck in a game, regretfully too late, although my previous game with Makis Badhevanis was lost by me mostly because of my unskillful play rather than bad luck. This must be admitted. If he has containment now, I'm gonna get angry. Of course, deco makes me even more angry at this point. Empty 5-year plan. Okay, I'm not that eager to overinvest in Middle East. That's a cheap hand, so I should make the most of its events, especially the one-up events. But the one-up events seem all useful, actually. Let's calculate kitchen debates for starters. It's +1 for Europe, +1 for Asia, making +2, -1 for Middle East, bringing it back to +1, +3 in Africa, making it +4. South America is 0. Central America is -1 for a total of +3. So headlines like decall, of course. So with Sadat, it's +5. And even after his coup, I should be able to score kitchen debates, actually. And if not, Panama Canal returned and OAS founded should provide some help. Alliance for Progress is gonna be played for ops, but shuttle diplomacy is another story. I'm wondering about spacing, because I'd like... Well, spacing Korean War would be nice. Spacing distal is much more important. I am not very happy about it. But he can't take everything at once. Hold card, probably Korean War. Influence. Leaving me a coup. Interesting. And decent. Because Thailand would now be vulnerable for a China card takeover, and I assume this might be the reason behind. It's worth more to keep Thailand than these 4 VPs, probably, from denying his coup. Even taking into account another VPs from kitchen debates. Panama Canal returned now becomes a card of high priority to play, because I should spread quite soon. By taking all the... cheap countries. He stopped having some decent coup targets. But I assume he's gonna coup Algeria now. Egypt, wow. I didn't see this coming. Okay, I'm gonna give it to him. I can't really afford not giving up ops. Whew. Just a little good luck for me. His move suggested very strongly that he might have Asia, Southeast Asia, or both. It's turn 4 and all the scorings are somewhere in the deck. 5-year plan is gone. Mr. Big Spender. Yeah, we should start playing here. Central America scores a lot for him. But it's not the thing I could really strongly deal with now. This is annoying. This is even more annoying. So okay, I have coup targets and I should make use of them. One more turn like this and Distal becomes playable. Maybe I should give a shot to realigning Nigeria and Brazil. I mean, Nigeria asks for realignments. Shuttle diplomacy is the card. And upon success, what's the better follow-up than Brazil? Okay, now I have to try this one. And succeeded. I know this was my chance to trigger kitchen debates, but actually MILOPs are also 2 VPs, and Argentina access is by far more important. Plus, now I have 2 good realignment targets. Of course, Central America looks like a cost of all these operations, but, well, I had a very cheap hand. And sometimes you just have to ignore a region or two. Central America is always the first region to ignore. Not the worst thing to draw instead. If he doesn't take Panama now, I think I'm gonna go to Mexico. If he does, I think I'm gonna cook Haiti. The problem with Mexico is that it's a very good coup target for him. Reasonable, reasonable. Missile envy. It comes with a downside risk. Of course. Okay, Brezhnev the last action round. Liberation space race. Allende. Allende. Muslim revolution. Kinda sorta pointless. So, of course, it must be self-repaired to some extent, but it should be. Or containment for spacing Allende and maybe liberation theology. Containment is a safe headline. John Paul is a tricky one, but not changing much. I mean, it's better to take Canada and save it for next turn's headline. Missile envy is risky, but offers the best odds. Plus, what can he give me to degrade DEFCON? Okay, he can headline We Will Bury You, but deck and cover is not here, so... Olympic Games? Nah. He has some better stuff. He must. Plus, this is the kind of map where I need to grab at least a fraction of his initiative at the beginning of the turn, because it's fifth turn, 6 scorings remaining somewhere, and most of the regions are volatile. Africa is 1 battleground away from being dominated by me, or 1 non-battleground away from being dominated by him. Central America is one Nicaragua coup from grabbing domination from him, or one liberation theology from being controlled by him. Asia, a successful brush war against Pakistan or Thailand grabs Asian domination. Europe, the same about Italy, or the reverse about John Paul. Oh, Italy is no longer a concern. Cuban Missile Crisis, okay. What am I getting for Missile Envy then? Taking 2 from West Germany is not a big problem if I really need to coup somewhere. Nuclear test ban is a problem. To which I am going to react immediately. Let's do it with Arab-Israeli war. I'm not really concerned about the war. I mean, you can't be afraid of losing wars of 1-6, and this is 2VP. Not too much at this stage of the game. I'm much more concerned about Africa. And I am concerned about not losing more stuff here. Of course, this makes arms race pointless. Counter coup in Nigeria, yep. That was predictable. So arms race is pointless. Therefore, it goes here. Things to remember: West Germany. And of course, I should remember that Africa is now vulnerable to be dominated by him. I think I'm quite ready to suffer Allende, although in the long term, it sucks, of course. I am even ready to suffer Muslim revolution. I'm not ready to suffer liberation theology. Okay, it starts being annoyingly successful for him. And I think fighting back for Africa is too expensive now. Africa costs me 4, but the long-term costs of using the resources in my possession to fight back Africa would be more. For starters, coupping anything has a huge downside risk of failing because he could do well. Cameroon and Saharan states are overwhelmingly controlled by him. Direct placement of ops requires 3 ops from me, which means Brezhnev or Muslim Revolution, and still remains vulnerable to coups. So I'm taking my time to space race. I'm gonna see his headline, and with a bit of luck, I'm gonna space Muslim Revolution as well. Yep, as predicted. So spacing this as well. Failed this time. So now Allende to coup Nicaragua and Brezhnev to secure Canada. And one more point. That's a good question. Where? But securing Canada would be nice because then John Paul makes Europe dominated by me, creating a classic crisis. Southeast Asia, so no Philippines. Probably Argentina. Unless, of course, he controls Argentina right now. Quagmire with a coup. That's also good that he couldn't play it, actually. And yeah, let's go to Colombia just to have better odds in case I need to realign Panama at some point. And now let's wait for his headline, shall we? In the meantime, John Paul, brush war looks nice, but I'd rather wait with it to make it a counter to something that he plays. Camp David Accords can be played at any time and doesn't necessarily go for points. Nixon plays the China card, can be played almost at any time, but certainly it's better to wait for Cultural Revolution to be played first. Cultural Revolution should be played quite soon, but not in the headline, of course. Latin American Death Squads. No, just not. Doesn't really look good. So John Paul is the headline, unless what he plays actually makes it moot. But what can it be? No socialist, no anti-French cards, no blockade. John Paul creates immediate crisis in Europe. Then Cultural Revolution. Romanian application. I forgot about this one. And this is a quite decent headline because now he doesn't really face crisis and he may safely coup. Cultural soon. Brush war before flower power. This is what I should remember. South African unrest. Not that it changes much, but looks like a good hold card. One small step for a coup. Ooh, that was a juicy one. But of course, Middle Eastern stuff doesn't look promising in terms of brush war targets. Of course, I could always use Camp David, but I want to wait with it. Simply because what I actually played cuts him off the options of getting anything better. Has only Israel left. Okay, now let's use this mostly useless stuff. So Europe is equalized as it used to be. Asia looks good. Central America doesn't look good, but I assume he doesn't have it. Because it probably would be played. Czech can be spaced at some point. The lack of promising targets for brush war blocks me with the use of flower power ops, and I want to use these ops sooner or later. Okay, Asia's calling, so he probably doesn't have Middle East or Central America. Maybe it's worth fighting for one of them in this case. Now brush war. Panama? Actually, sooner or later I may be able to take Panama with the use of ABM maybe, or grain sales or something like that. But Spain, Portugal is to be taken now or never, looks like. Now is the answer. And Europe faces some crisis from the communist point of view right now. So flower power is now a quite free play. I think when I get some free time, I should play Nixon before he's able to actually play China. Che is the candidate for space race, and Camp David, under these circumstances, looks like a great IR7 play. So let's grab it, just to make Usuri slightly more painful. Wow! Now we're talking. So Middle East, Central America, these are the scorings left. And of course, there is gonna be a reshuffle, but Middle East and Central America are left. Colonial rearguards, and you are giving me this event. What do you have else left? Not that I can make much use of this one. But I'm certainly quite happy seeing this played. I dare to say I like what this game looks like now. But of course, there are some drawbacks, like CIA is gone, Long Gunman is not. It's on the discard, it doesn't have to return into my hand, of course, but well. Ooh, NORAD activated. Okay, so let's grab 1 point more and miscalculated because it's not a domination, although it makes a little problematic situation for him. Our man in Tehran. He got Central America scoring. So I think puppets are advisable. OPEC costs only 1 point here. So it actually may be worth triggering. With puppets, even his... I forgot about this one. But I think I'm gonna respond with puppets anyway. So he had ABM and Junta, I had Brush. Okay. Even if he coups Mexico, I should be able to stop his domination at least for a while. I can use the China card. Of course, I don't really care about Formosan resolution. What I do care about is Central America. So now that OPEC costs only 1, I'm gonna risk it and just coup Panama. Great. And it's followed up with NORAD. And the good target for NORAD is Zaire or Poland or Libya. All this stuff is of course easily repairable. Let's go for Libya, because it grants me immediate domination in a region which is in my hand. His problem with Central America scoring is that he has to actually play the scoring. So he invested 2 points in domination. And yes, I can't take Middle East scoring from him. I can stop his domination by going into Costa Rica. But is it worth? Five. Five is a little. I need a 3 or more with duck and cover roll. Okay, I am giving up Central America. I am playing. Giving up or not? Decisions. If I could even successfully. Because I'm thinking about nuclear subs and so on. Let's make him worry a little bit here. Just for a while. I don't want to go to Cuba because it's vulnerable to Ortega. I would like to space this though. And I would like to actually trigger our man in Tehran. Maybe to hold it. On turn 8 it should be worth more. Okay, I'm not going to make use of nuclear subs as an event, so I may as well give it a shot. Shot to nothing. Yep. So let's play this one before it gets worse. Bear trap. Yeah, of course, he has to get rid of Voice of America. Yeah, I gave up Africa for South America. But Africa doesn't look good anyway. He has Ussuri and something. Arms race. I want to deny his access from here. Junta and Star Wars. Okay, this looks like a great hand. An absolutely great hand. Marine barracks bombing, now that it was scored. Well, of course, I'm hunting him. Containment or Star Wars are actually the best candidates to hold. Evil Empire may be worth playing for event. There are so many good cards here, so maybe Star Wars shouldn't be held, really. I'll be sad if it's terrorized. Okay, I'm gonna play it when you give me only this. Sorry. Actually, Our Man in Tehran is a good card to be played before Star Wars, so that maybe I can discard something nice to have. For example, War Games. I don't want him to break my Argentina. The rest is okay. Great Britain, yep, certainly. So let's grab back the domination of Europe. Actually, Star Wars with ABM Treaty. ABM Treaty used to coup a non-battleground, and 3 ops are given. 3 points, I mean. He doesn't know that I saw Europe. I'm gonna see his headline unless he plays one small step. Oh, event. Damn it. Okay. This was kinda sorta important to be able to get rid of this one. Sorry, to escape on my first attempt. But okay, I'm now going to have containment. And Star Wars for a headline. Damn it. Okay, this has to be defected in this case. Finally. I don't want to give you chair. Okay, Europe is lost for the nearest. Scoring. And I can't lose Thailand. So Star Wars to be played this turn. Arms race with Star Wars. This really looks good. Moment. Nah. I have a better idea. Sorry for what you hear. I don't have headset, and someone is working. It looks like nuclear test ban followed by Soviet shutdown call should do it. Or should I play Soviets first? Maybe 5-year plan? I should be able to win this game, even if I have to score Africa. But I'm not extremely happy about what's going on. DEFCON is at 2 now. Okay. So my nuclear test ban plan doesn't work. This plan, however, does work. Okay. Well, okay. So this is my goodbye to the Champions League. Thank you for watching and see you next time.